Hi friends, welcome to this week's video. It's a pretty standard recipe video this week. I'm sharing how I make Aloo Poori for breakfast or brunch usually. That's typically the time of day that we have this. It's a very simple potato curry with what is essentially fried rotis or fried chapatis, which are referred to as puri. It's a really delicious, fragrant curry that comes together really quick, and the puris are crispy and fluffy. It's kind of an indulgent meal, but we do enjoy it, maybe once a month. You can expect all of the usual suspects when it comes to ingredients, perhaps with the exception of ajwain instead of jeera. The recipe that I followed many years ago and that I've kind of stuck to and altered a little bit in my head uses ajwain. So we're going to get started with the pressure cooker on medium-high heat and a bit of oil, and we're going to add the ajwain, these are carom seeds, directly into the oil and wait for them to crackle a little bit. And then once that happens, you're going to obviously hear the little crackling sound that it makes, similar to jeera. Add in some chopped onion. I'm using a white onion. I have made this with red onion before. Doesn't really make much of a difference, to be honest. The ingredients are simple and interchangeable. I have here some fresh tomato puree. I'm going to be using that later, but for now I'm adding a bit of minced garlic, as well as some chopped green chili pepper. Just allowing that to cook for a minute or two until the onions become a little bit translucent, and then comes some minced ginger. If you hear any meowing in the background, I'm sorry, that's Rumi. He wants to be let out of the room, but if I let him out, he's only going to want to come inside again. Okay, next I've added the tomato puree. I'm combining that with the existing ingredients, allowing that to cook down a bit. And now for a couple of spices, we have turmeric or haldi and some red chili powder, and some hing, that's asafoetida. Adding all of that to the tomato puree, and this is going to be the basis of our curry. I'm adding a little bit of salt right now, not too much, we can adjust a bit later. And here I have some cubed potato. It's like 1-inch cubes. I've peeled the potato first, but you don't have to peel the potato if you want to give it a good wash, a good scrub, and then cube it with the skin. That's fine as well. I just really prefer this curry without the skin, to be honest. I'm going to add a bit of water now. Not too much, just enough to cover the potato. There are no real measurements here, but I will put some measurements down below to help guide you a little bit. But I usually add enough water to just cover the potato. And that's it. We're going to cover this up, turn up the heat, and cook this for 3 whistles in the pressure cooker. If you don't have a pressure cooker, just cook this until the potato is tender. You know, do the knife test, prick the potato. And while that's steaming, let's work on our puris. We're going to just roll out some puris. This is the same as chapati dough, but I'm carrying through with the flavor of the carom seeds, the ajwain. It is kneaded directly into the dough. I'm shaping these puris in very much the same way that I would shape a chapati, almost the same size as well. One thing, however, is that I'm using oil instead of flour on the table surface to roll out these puris. We don't want any loose flour hitting this hot oil when it's time to deep fry the puris. One thing you're going to see here is me struggling to fry these puris on my little joke of a cooktop. It doesn't heat up enough to deep fry these puris. So you're going to see about 3 puris there that I was not able to fry successfully. I had to move into the kitchen where my stove does heat up enough, and now you can see I'm having much more success deep frying these puris in a way that allows them to puff up. It should happen in seconds, not minutes. And those other ones, they never even took off, to be frank. But here you can see this one is puffing up just beautifully, and this is what the puri should look like, and it should happen relatively quickly. Okay, let's check on our potato curry. It looks really beautiful. Lovely color. It is a little bit thick, but I have to add a few things first, and then I'm going to go about adjusting the texture. I have here some garam masala. This is my mom-in-law's garam masala, which I love the most. That's a bit of amchur powder, so dry mango powder. Of course, a bit of fresh dhania as well. And now I'm going to add a little bit of water to just adjust the thickness of this curry. I don't want it to be too thick. I don't want it to be runny either, but this is kind of the consistency that we like best. And of course, at this point, you should adjust the salt. Okay, here are my pooties. They look beautiful. The deflated ones are at the bottom, obviously, but the rest of them look pretty good. Once I moved inside to the kitchen, able to get that heat high enough, they puffed up really well. I'm presenting Pranav with his plate here. I have a little sectional thali that I got the last time I was in Ambala. I like to whip it out every once in a while. We're having some cucumber slices, a thinly sliced onion that's dressed with lime juice, chaat masala, and some slivered green chilies or mirch. Okay, take a look at this. Beautiful, 2 layers puffed up nicely, crispy, not too oily. Honestly, this is one of my favorite breakfasts. As I said, we don't have it often, maybe once a month, if that, but I hope that you like this recipe. And if you do, let me know in the comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our little channel so that you don't miss any content from us. And I hope that wherever you are, you're staying nice and safe, that you're well, that your families are well, and that you are eating really delicious food. Okay, I'll see you next week, friends, with something else. Bye for now.